it's Julia here, founder of Julia's Violin Academy, and in this violin tutorial I would like to dive into the piece which is called Child of Bliss and how to go about practicing this challenging but fun piece on the violin. First of all, this is a piece that I wouldn't recommend for anyone who is beginner level, not because the notes are so difficult. The notes are actually pretty easy. Even a beginner could play most of the notes. But the rhythm is very difficult of the piece. And don't let the easy notes trick you into thinking this is an easy piece. So let's dive into this piece together. First of all, the most obvious question you might ask yourself right now is, so how do I go about practicing the rhythm? What do I do if I want to learn this piece and if I want to play the rhythm correctly? What I recommend is to practice with a MIDI play-along. And I will link a MIDI play-along below this video so you can actually practice with it. And what I would do is to take one bar at a time and to really practice only one bar each day, or maybe 2 bars, maybe 3 bars, depending on how experienced you are with rhythm, and try to figure out the rhythm of 1 or 2 or 3 bars each day. Sometimes you might be able to do more bars if the rhythm is easier, but some bars are exceptionally difficult, like the 13th bar, where you will probably have to practice on that bar alone for a few days to get a rhythm perfectly. So what would I recommend? I will show you right now what I would do. So I got my MIDI play along in front of me right now, and I will show you what to do. So first of all, let's connect this computer with my speaker so you can actually hear what I'm doing. You should be able to hear it right now. So what I would do to get my MIDI play along, and I would just try to tick the rhythm along with the MIDI play along. So put your violin away. That is the first step. You don't need your violin in the first, maybe even month of practice. If you're a beginner player, you won't need your violin for a while. So first of all, ti 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 ti, ti 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 ti, ti 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 ti, ti 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 ti. So this is the only thing you should learn. In the first place, you should only be able to clap the rhythm. That is your first goal for this piece. If you are able to clap the rhythm, you can go on to the next step. But that is the first step. The rhythm is written in 12/8. That means that in each bar there are 12 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is how the rhythm goes. Da 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 da. You can either think of the rhythm as da 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 da. So you can, in your head or with the metronome, you can make a click every 1.5 beat. So every 3 8 notes. Or you can also put the metronome on 8 notes and let it click like this. Da 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 da, instead of da 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 da. So you can make it click like that. If you want to make the metronome click like that, you have to learn it on 80 BPM. If you would like to let the metronome click at 8 notes, you would have to make 80 times 3, because it is 3 clicks as much, is 240 BPM. 240 BPM should the metronome be if you would like to practice it in 8s. You can choose if you would like to practice in 8s or in dotted quarter notes. Whatever you prefer. In my MIDI play along I have used dotted quarter notes. Because for me personally, if I hear so many clicks, it gets even more confusing. So it is easier to use dotted quarter notes in my opinion. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will only emphasize the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So that's how I prefer to do it, but you can choose. So either 80 BPM or 240 BPM, depending on which method you choose of using dotted quarter notes or 8 notes in your metronome. So, first step, you have been able to clap along with your metronome. First with the MIDI file, and then take away the MIDI file and see if you can do it with only a metronome without even the help of the MIDI file. If you are able to do so, you can get your violin and you can try to play the notes. In this piece, what is important is that there's 2 flats in the piece. That means in the entire piece you should play a low first finger on the A string. And you should also play a low 4th finger on the A string. So each time that you see an E, or actually that would be an E flat, if you see the note that you would often play as an E, you have to play, you cannot play an open E string, you have to play a low 4th finger instead. Low 1, low 1, low 4th finger. The low 4th finger goes just right above the 3rd finger, there's no gap in between. Also, the 1st finger on the E string is low, but I don't believe that the 1st finger on the E string is played in the piece, and even there is one 1st finger on the E string in the piece, that is on the 46th bar, and there you have to play it high actually, because there is a sharp sign just before it, which means you have to play that one as a high 1st finger. 46th bar, make sure to play a high 1st finger. Next to that, everywhere low 1st fingers. I think if you are able to do the rhythm of this piece, the notes are not the most difficult part, but if you would like to get more help with the notes, I recorded another video that you can also find on this YouTube channel, and there you can see every single note of the piece. I will actually play it. You can also use it for the rhythm practice, although I think the MIDI file is even more precise. So I would use first the MIDI file, practice the rhythm, then practice the notes. You can use my play along video as a help over there. Now let's have a look at the special signs in the piece. There's quite a few of them, and especially repeat signs there. Let's have a look at it. So I will start at the 17th bar. There you will see a second sign. Then you see at the 22nd bar you see a coda sign. So just have a look at those bars and see which signs you see. Also, there's a special sign in the 37th bar that says DSL coda, and then at the 38th bar you will also see a coda sign. So how should you play those signs? Also, there's a few repeat signs, and you will also be able to see a bracket with a 1 and a bracket with a 2. So let's have a look at it. You start all the way in the beginning of the piece. And the first time you play the piece, you just play all the bars from the 1st bar all the way to the 28th bar. At the 28th bar, you encounter a repeat sign. So you will have to repeat the piece again. You start again in the 1st bar and go all the way until the 1st bracket. So that would be the 23rd bar. If you reach the end of the 23rd bar, you shouldn't continue at the 1st bracket, but instead you go to the 2nd bracket, which is at the 29th bar. So from 23 you jump to 29. On the moment you are at 29, you go on and you play all the way until the 37th bar. There you will see DSL coda. DSL coda means go back to the sign and then play until the coda. So let's go dal secno and find the secno sign. Go back to the secno sign. The secno sign is at bar 17. So after we have come to bar 37, we go back to the 17th bar and start playing at the secno sign again. We play all the way until we encounter the coda sign. The coda sign is visible in the 23rd bar. If we see the coda sign, instead of going to the coda sign is in the 22nd bar, excuse me. At the end of the 22nd bar, instead of going to the 23rd bar, you will see a coda sign and you will continue at the 38th bar, where you see the other coda sign. So from 22 you go to 38, and after that you play all the way until the end. So this is So from 38 until the last note. This is the follow-up sequence. This is the way to play all the notes. So all the way from the beginning until the end. First, play the repeat signs, repeat number 1. Then go to repeat number 2. Then go to the play until dal, secno, al, coda. Then go back to the secno sign, play until the coda sign, and go on at the other coda sign and play until the end. So this is the order in which to play things. So these are the 3 things that will be most challenging. The order in which to play it, making sure that you play the low first finger, the low second finger, everywhere where you have to play the low fingers, make sure to do so. And have a look at my play along video for exact fingerings. And of course the rhythm. This is the piece for very advanced rhythm practice. It is a very difficult rhythm. So if you feel like rhythm is not your strongest point, maybe wait with this piece for a while and come back to it later. But if you feel like you are really good at rhythm and you would like to have a challenge, definitely have a look at this piece and try to challenge yourself with a challenging rhythm. So I wish you good luck practicing this piece. Please give this video a thumbs up if it helped you in practicing with this piece. And come and have a look at Julia's Violin Academy if you would like to learn more about learning the violin with me and a group of really motivated adult violin players. juliasviolinacademy.com, there you can find more information. I would love to teach you more and share exactly the steps you need to take to become a good violin player. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week in my next tutorial. Goodbye!